Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Tom Wetton from Tom Wetton PT. Today's topic is the calorie deficit. How to create a deficit, where to begin, and what is best practice. Give this video a like, press the big red button for future updates. Calorie deficit, the word that is everywhere at the minute. Everyone's talking about it. What is a calorie deficit? Well, basically, a calorie deficit is a reduction in calories going in versus going out. So, what is that? Less of this, more of this. Simple. Right? No, not at all. There are so many other factors involved. Yes, you can create a calorie deficit. Yeah, you can maintain your calories through the deficit, but there's so much more around it that's the problem. There's behavioural issues, social issues, habits that you've formed over years. There's also beliefs that may be inaccurate, such as carbs, they're bad for you. Fat makes you fat. Doesn't. Every diet can initially work, whether that's Slimming World, Weight Watchers, keto diet, intermittent fasting, plant-based diet, you name it. Every single diet basically creates a calorie deficit. It isn't fat burns fat, keto. Cell autophagy, intermittent fasting. There is no magic pill. It is simply a calorie deficit that is causing the weight loss. Well, fat loss. We'll get to weight loss a bit later on. So, how do you start on your new journey? You know that you need to lose weight, you need to lose fat. How do you create this deficit that you need? So first of all, we need to work out calorie allowance. This is the calories that you need for your build. Your sex, your age, your height, that all influences the calories that you actually require. So give two people the same diet, the same exercise routine, they will lose weight or gain weight differently. And this is why numbers are relevant when we talk about fat loss. So the easiest way is to use an online calculator. Most calculators use two equations. Most of them use the Harris-Benedict equation. And this actually works out your RMR, which is your resting metabolic rate. But we'll talk about that in a moment. So as I just said, RMR, BMR, what are these? BMR could be a new car. Sadly, it's not. BMR or RMR is your basal metabolic rate. So your RMR, your resting metabolic rate, is how many calories you burn by being you. By being stood up all day, by being sedentary all day, by not moving. Minus your digestion, it is literally just how many calories your body requires to maintain itself. So the calculator works out your BMR or RMR, and then it also gives you an activity level, whether you're sedentary, a little bit of exercise, loads of exercise, extremely physical job with a lot of exercise. And you can put that in and it will give you a list of your calories, or the calories that you require to maintain your body weight. So, which calculator to use? I'm sure you're all asking because it's like there's so many calculators out there, it's a minefield. The main one I use is calculator.net. You go to Health and Fitness and you look for BMR calculator. There is a link in the description if you don't want to do that and you just want to find it easy. It's down there. So you go to that website or click on the link below and it will bring you up to the main page, and on there it's got the calculator that you need. So you put in your age, your gender, height and weight and press calculate. This will come up with a little chart next to you, a little graph, a little box, whatever you want to call it. And inside there we'll have your sedentary plus calories, light exercise plus calories, etc. And that is what you use. So if you're sedentary as hell, you don't move much, you probably do a bit of a workout 3 times a week, but most of the time you don't move much, you're sedentary. If you go to the gym 3 times a week, you have a pretty adequate workout for an hour, you have a job where you're on your feet all day, and again, light exercise. So, once you've used the calculator, you have your baseline calories, you're ready to begin. So, where to begin? To create the deficit, you have 2 options. You either reduce what's going in and move more, or move more and carry on eating the same. The choice is yours. So let's start with input, what goes in. Unfortunately, and some people won't like this, but you need to track what you're eating. You need to look exactly what you're putting into your body every single day. Just do it for a week, do it for 2 weeks, do it for 3 weeks. You don't need to track for your whole life. Some people go, oh, well, I don't like tracking. You only need to do it for a small amount of time, just so you can build up an understanding of what's going in. So how do you track your food? You need to use a tracking app. My personal favourite is MyFitnessPal. I use this with a lot of clients because I have access to their diaries. And once they complete a day, I can actually log in and see what they've had, and then I can give advice on the fly. It's perfect. For you, either MyFitnessPal or NutriCheck. I believe they're the best. Don't quote me, I may be wrong, but I know a lot of people use those too. There's more out there. Have a play with them, see which one you prefer. Using these apps, you build a better understanding of the food that you are eating, the nutrition you are having. You may believe that you eat a very well balanced diet, but actually unless you start tracking your food and start seeing really what you're putting in, eating as well as you think, or you may not be eating as well as you believe. For example, people say, oh, I've had a bowl of cereal for breakfast. Okay, fair enough. A normal portion of cereal, whether it's cornflakes or Cocoa Pops or whatever, is 30 grams. Now, you look at most people's portion sizes, it's 60 grams to 100 grams. It's never 30 grams, because 30 grams is literally covering at the bottom of the bottle. It's crap. But there again, you're having 3 times the portion size, so actually you're having 300 calories without you realising it. Again, you look at portion sizes of all the food you start eating, you start to get a better understanding of what you are consuming. So just do it, a couple of weeks, have a look, and then once you start building up this understanding, you build up a better understanding of what you're putting into your body, and actually you can make better meals with a lot more volume, with a lot more food, with less calories, just by being smarter. Let's talk about macronutrients for a little bit. What are macronutrients? Well, fats, protein, carbohydrates. When it comes to fat loss, carbohydrates and fat aren't really that relevant. Protein is, carbs and fat aren't. Now I know a lot of people say, oh, fat makes you fat, carbs make you fat. It's not true. Now, reducing carbohydrates though can make you lose weight, not fat. It will make you lose weight because carbohydrate is carb water, carbohydrate. Because to store carbohydrates in the body, there needs to be water. You reduce the carbohydrates in the system, water comes down. You lose weight on the scales. You're not actually losing fat, which is what evidently we want to do more than actually weight loss. We want fat loss, much better. Carbohydrates are protein sparing, which means that the body then breaks down carbohydrates instead of protein. Fat, on the other hand, fat is actually protective. It's a very good macronutrient to have, and you should have about 20 to 30% of your daily allowance of calories from fat. Reducing fat can actually have a lot of problems with hormones and nutrient storage, etc. Vitamins. Vitamin D, most people are lacking at the minute, is stored in fat. That's why we need fat. And for the people out there, fat does not make you fat. If that was the case, people who had a keto diet, who ate a lot of fat, would be fat. But let's just make one point here. No single food is fattening. If you're eating something and you see someone like that and they go, oh my God, you should be eating that, it's fattening. I'm sorry. No single food is fattening. If you overconsume calories of a food, it becomes fattening. Protein is king for fat loss and dieting. Consuming protein burns calories. Thermic effect of food. Basically, as you eat the food, your body needs energy to break it down. So you're actually, by eating protein, you're burning calories from it. Brilliant. Protein protects against muscle wastage. The breakdown of muscle around your body. You don't want that, like I said earlier. You want fat loss, not weight loss. So by having protein, you protect the muscles. Having more muscles on the frame or having more skeletal muscle actually makes you burn more calories because you have a higher BMR or resting metabolic rate, like we spoke about earlier. Protein is great for feeling fuller. It's very satiating. It's perfect. So if you have protein with every meal, you will feel fuller for longer. So this is why I always recommend have protein with breakfast, have protein with lunch, have protein with your evening meal. You will feel fuller for longer. You won't then feel like you need to binge or snack on foods. For fat loss, everyone should have a protein goal. To work out the protein that you require, you take your weight in kilograms, you multiply that by 1.6. That then gives you your daily, and I say daily, not weekly or anything, it's every single day you must hit that. That is your daily target for protein. And then with that daily target, you just split it up over your meals. Perfect. So now that input is sorted, and you've got a better understanding of what you're putting in your body and how many calories you should be having, let's talk about output. Go for a run, go for a walk. Output. No? What I'm doing right now, talking to you, using expressions, bouncing up and down, that is still output. You do not have to be running or walking or jogging or lifting weights. Just move more. Do the cleaning at home. Take the dog for a bloody walk. Literally, you have so many other options you could be doing that it doesn't have to be what everyone believes to be correct. Then the next stage from that is increasing your step count. So 10,000 steps per day, which a lot of people recommend and is something you want to try and aim for, roughly works out to be about 500 calories, give or take. But that's a ballpark figure that I like to use, so I say 500 calories per 10,000 steps walked. So if you consume your base level of calories, which is from your resting metabolic rate, or plus your activity level, and then you walk 10,000 steps, you're burning 500 calories. That means you're reducing 500 calories from the amount you've been eating, saying creates deficit. Wow. You want to burn a few more calories? 12,000 steps, etc. Being in a 500 calorie deficit for 7 days a week equates to 3,500 calories burnt a week. 3,500 calories in energy equates to 1 pound of fat. So that means, in theory, you would lose 1 pound of fat per week if you managed to maintain that calorie deficit. Unfortunately, weight loss isn't linear. It's all over the place. If it was linear, it would be so much better, but it isn't. It is up and down. So you've got to expect that. But as a theory, reducing by 500 calories per day equals 1 pound of fat loss per week. Hopefully, you now have a better understanding of fat loss, your calorie requirements, and everything you need to begin your journey. Drop a comment below about your journey already. How are you finding fat loss? What has been your hurdle? How are you managing, coping with lockdown, new jobs, etc.? Let's have a chat about it. See if something that I can help you with. So have a great day. Until next time, farewell.